What's going on, guys? And in this video, I'm going to answer the question that everyone has been asking me. Is a CBO better for testing, or is a normal $5 a day ad set better for testing? Let's get into it. I'll get right into it. In this video, we're going to be talking about my testing strategy. Basically, what I did was I tested a CBO with 20 interests, and I tested those same 20 interests in a non-CBO. So, campaign budget optimization is becoming mandatory in September. The reason I ran this test was to figure out if a CBO runs better or if a normal $5 a day ad set performs better. So basically what I did for this test is I ran a CBO with 20 interests in there, and that budget was set at $100 a day at the campaign level. And then what I also did was I duplicated those 20 interests and put them standalone in their own campaign at $5 a day at the ad set level. And this is interesting because I haven't seen really anybody do this. And since CBO is becoming mandatory in September, I thought this would be a great test. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into to show you guys the results, because it is really interesting to see which one actually won. Was it the CBO? Was it the $5 a day ad set? So go ahead and comment down below right now and tell me, guys, which one do you guys think is gonna win? Is it the CBO? Is it the $5 a day ad set? And I ran this test over a period of 6 days, which I will be breaking down and showing you exactly what I did. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Right here is showing you exactly how I broke down this split test of the CBO versus the normal standard $5 a day ad set that the majority of people are teaching online. So how I set it up was, for the CBO portion, how I set it up was I ran a CBO, campaign budget optimization, at $100 per day, optimizing for conversions. And I had 20 different ad sets in there. Each of those ad sets contained a single interest. Okay, so I named them interest 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 20, just for the sake of, easy to read. You guys can compare them to the ad set level and the campaign. And I will be going into my ads manager at the end of this just to show you guys some proof, show you guys that I'm not just BSing this, right? I do have stats behind all of this data that I will be showing you on the Excel files. It's just a lot easier to show that way. So yeah, basically my CBO, 20 ad sets in there, and then within each ad set, I actually did have 5 ads within each ad set. So I do recommend that you guys do that as well if you're going to be testing with CBOs. The more ads that you have, the better chance you have of one of them popping off and one of them having a really high ROAS for you. So right, that's just in general, you're going to need at least 5 ads. I would say, maybe at the baseline, I'd say maybe 3 ads is good for you guys to have within each ad set, but that's a very important piece of this strategy. And like I said, each of these interests was single interest. So if you guys want to find out my testing strategy, you can just go back a few videos and I outline exactly how I set up everything in my ads manager. I'm not going to go into that right now since I already did before. So that was how I set up my CBO. And then what I did was I basically took those 20 ad sets and I duplicated them and put them in a campaign, and the budget was set at the ad set level at $5 a day, right? So theoretically speaking, you have 20 ads in there spending $5 a day, and that ends up being about $100. That ends up being a $100 budget. So 20 ad sets at $5 a day, that ends up being a $100 budget, which is the same $100 budget that I have set at the CBO. So these campaigns are essentially identical, right? There's nothing changed other than the fact that one of them is CBO and the other one is at the normal $5 a day ad set level. And the results were interesting. Let me tell you guys this. So I'm just going to break it down, basically going through day 1 through 6, and at the end I'll also provide a summary as well as go into my order metrics and my ads manager over the last 6 days, so you guys can see what my profits were, if I made money, if I lost money, and it's pretty interesting, to be honest. So here we go. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Day 1, basically standard $5 a day ad sets got me 4 purchases for a ending day 1 ROAS of 1.62, and then my CBO campaign gave me a 7 purchases for ending ROAS of 2.12. So day 1, the CBO definitely won. Day 2, standard ad sets gave me 8 purchases with a total value of $288 and a ROAS of 2.89. The CBO on day 2 gave me 5 purchases with a ROAS of 1.61. So day 2 went back to the standard ad set. So it's currently 1-to-1 after 2 days. Day 3 was definitely a deciding factor for this split test, because on day 3, the standard had only 3 purchases with a ROAS of 1.11, which is unprofitable. My break-even ROAS for this is 1.3. Just for reference, you guys, my break-even ROAS on this product is 1.3. And for the CBO on day 3, the ROAS was 3.34, which absolutely crushed it, right? So day 3, at this point I was thinking, wow, CBO definitely is better, CBO's the way to go. But then on day 4, standard ad sets gave me 5 purchases with a 1.81 ROAS, and the CBO gave me 5 purchases, but only a 1.73 ROAS. So it kind of evened out on day 4, and I was really thinking to myself, maybe I should let this test run a little bit longer, because my initial plan was to let it only run for 3 days. So I let it run for another day, day 4. After that, I realized, yeah, I should let this run close to a whole week. So on day 5, what happened was the standard ad sets had 5 purchases with a ROAS of 2.19, and the CBO had 5 purchases with a ROAS of 1.26. So at this point, it was back-to-back days where the standard campaign was running much better than the other ones. One thing to note is on day 4, I started breaking down certain ad sets by either Facebook or Instagram placement. So the reason I did that was to just help increase the ROAS, and I did that in the CBO, and I also did that in the normal $5 a day ad set. So basically, if I turned off a campaign, or if I turned off an ad set in the CBO on day 4, what I would do is I would duplicate the ad sets that were performing well and just target either Facebook or Instagram and then launch them, the next day. So on day 4, 5, and 6, those are the days that I started doing that. And I did it across both the standard testing ad sets and the CBO ad sets to make it, uniform, to make the test as accurate as possible. So that's why you guys see that on the Excel spreadsheet that I'm showing you. But anyways, on day 5, like I said, standard ad sets got 5 purchases with a 2.19 ROAS, and then the CBO also got 5 purchases, but only a 1.26 ROAS. So it was day 6 that was kind of a big deciding factor for me. And this is when I really realized that, CBO does take some time to get up and running. So on day 6, standard ad sets with a 2.1 ROAS, and CBO had 8 purchases with a 4.03 ROAS. And that brings us to our summary. So over the last 6 days, standard ad sets gave me a 1.96 ROAS with 30 purchases, and the CBO campaign gave me 41 purchases, so 11 more, and it gave me a 2.35 ROAS. So the conversion value on both of those, for the CBO it was $1,489, and for the standard campaigns it was $1,176, and the amount spent on those were essentially the same. So as you guys can see here on the screen, this is what my order metrics profits were over those last 6 days. So, I definitely was profitable over the last 6 days, and I would say that, there were mistakes that I made along the way in terms of, the types of ads that I was testing. I definitely think I could have used better ads, but overall profitable. I was very happy, and this product's definitely a winner for me, so I'm going to keep on testing it going forward. And then here we are also in my ads manager, just showing these 2 different campaigns basically over the last 6 days, so you guys can match those ROASs also to the spreadsheet that I was showing you. So some important takeaways about this strategy that I wanted to tell you guys is that it's really important to let your campaigns run for at least 3 to 4 days before you really make a decision on it. And the only reason I would kill a campaign early on probably day 1 or 2 is if it didn't get any sales. So if your budget is set at, $100 a day on whether it's a CBO campaign or whether it's a normal ad set campaign, and you've spent $100 and you don't get a purchase after the first day, I would definitely kill that campaign, because what that means is, a combination of a couple different things is either number 1, you're getting a lot of traffic to your site, but you're not getting sales. Number 2, you're not getting any traffic to your site, or number 3, basically your ads just don't work, right? Like your ads they're not running properly. It's not reaching the right amount of people. Maybe you're getting some errors. So what mostly happens to people, I've noticed, is that second one, where your ads are not good enough to drive traffic to your store. So generally, with any type of stores, whether it's a niche, one product, or general store, the most important thing about your ads is your guys' video. So I do have a video on how you guys can make high quality videos using Adobe Premiere, so I definitely recommend that you check that out. But with your video, you really need to sell with emotion, and what I mean by selling with emotion is finding a benefit within, your product's probably going to have like 5 benefits. Within those 5 benefits, there's going to be one benefit that you can really market towards that emotion of that product. So find that benefit, market it with emotion as much as you can, and then really make sure that the video you're using is not copied from another store. The worst thing you can do in 2019 for dropshipping is copy an ad exactly from Facebook, because number 1, you could get copyright claimed, and number 2, which is more important, is the fact that people that you're showing that ad to have already seen it. So you're competing with the same people that are just running that ad constantly. It's not as effective as if you create your own footage or if you go source your own footage. So, with the video ad, the best thing that you can do is to source your own footage, create your own videos, buy the product yourself, test it out, and then you can also check for quality. Some of the reasons why my campaign was successful and why I was profitable, even testing both of these different strategies with the CBO and the normal, is because my ad was so much better than my competitors, and I was testing with a marketing angle. One or two really good ad creatives can carry your guys' campaigns to, tens, 20s, hundreds of thousands of dollars basically. And that's exactly what I do on my stores. Is I really spend 2 or 3 days on my ad copies, and I make sure that when I launch them, they have great thumbnails, they have great ad text, and that they are very engaging and they're very quick and to the point. And the only thing I test that's different in those 5 different creatives, those 5 different ads in my ad sets, are the first 3 to 5 seconds. So I switch up the first 3 to 5 seconds to really grab people's attention, see what works best. Then once I figure out, 1 or 2 of those videos that works best, what I do is I duplicate those and try and find little tweaks that I can make in the first 3 seconds or, later in the video to help optimize my ads to get conversions. So, that is basically the strategy. If you guys want to know more about my exact strategy and my day-by-day results broken down in a little bit more detail, you guys can follow my Instagram right down below, and it's also going to be a link in the description. It's just at Connor Chapman, and I give a ton of advice over there through my Instagram stories. So definitely recommend you guys check me out on Instagram. Shameless plug, of course. And for the next video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the Shopify glitch that just happened. I recorded a video about it, yesterday when it happened, and it definitely lost me about $1,000. So stay tuned for that one next time, and then let me know down below in the comments what you guys want to see next. I hope you guys enjoyed this strategy. Let me know what you think, if you like CBO or normal testing strategy better. Peace out, guys. Always make sure you keep your mind right. Peace.